What is up everyone? My name is Joshua Allengame, and if you're an actor like me, you'll know that with the global pandemic going around, more and more jobs are asking for a self-tape audition. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. I'm going to be showing you how to craft the perfect self-tape audition. But before we get started, if you're new here, hi, my name is Josh, and on this channel we go through everything to do with acting and the daily life that comes along with it. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you leave a like and comment on this video. And if you want to see more videos from me, make sure you subscribe and ding dong that notification bell so you can be notified every time I release a new video. So a self-taped audition, or self-tape, is a type of video audition where the person who's being auditioned films the audition materials in the comfort of their own home instead of going in to a room full of directors and casting directors to complete their audition. If you're an actor, you may or may not have heard of or even completed a self-taped audition, but I can guarantee you after watching this video in its entirety, you'll know all the secrets of how to complete the perfect self-taped audition. Creating the perfect self-tape audition starts with preparation. So the casting director of the job that you're applying for would have sent you an outline of what they want for your self-tape audition. Generally, what you'd send in for a self-tape audition is what you'd send in for a normal audition anyway, but sometimes they like to throw you a curveball and get you to send in something odd. Personally, I've had to send in videos of me answering questions, singing, and even a video of me switching facial expressions quickly for various self-tape auditions I've done in the past. Now that you know what you need to send in, you need to start learning your lines. Make sure that you're completely off book by the time you hand it in. Whilst you're learning your lines, you'll also need to find someone that can read the other parts of the script for you. The other characters in the script will have a breakdown. Make sure you find someone that's similar to this breakdown. For example, if one of the other characters in the script is a 50-year-old male smoker, you're probably not going to use your younger sister to read for them. Now, if this person can't read reliably for you, you may want to complete what is called an act-back track. This is where the person reads and you record them once, and you edit and adjust the act-back track so that the timing is right so that you can read your lines in between. This basically means you'll be reading against a recording for your final script, but that's okay, they're not going to know the difference. Just make sure you're good with editing software or you're comfortable learning some, because you may have to adjust the act-back track as you go to edit the timings. Once you're prepared and you know your lines, as well as your partner knowing what they need to read, or you have your act-back track recorded, you need to prepare your space. Pick a space that has good lighting, something that's not too harsh or not too dim, something like that, and that has a neutral background. This is the area I use for my auditions. As a bonus, it'll have good acoustics, but if you're experiencing any unwanted echo, you can just bunch up some pillows and blankets around the room to catch the sound. Set up your camera so that you're on the left or the right third of the frame, and so that it is zoomed in enough that you can see your head and shoulders comfortably, but not much else. Kind of like I've got here. Now it is time to do your hair, makeup, and costuming for the shoot. Make sure you don't go too extreme with these, keep it fairly natural. It's better for you to go under what they want and have them imagine the character on you, rather than you decide for them what the character should look like. Now it's time for you to record. I like to do a practice run where I go through the script in its entirety and then watch that recording back to make sure there's nothing that's gone wrong in terms of sound, lighting, etc. Once I've done that, I go through the script as many times as I need until I feel like I've got a good take. I then watch this take back to make sure there's nothing that I can improve. And if this is the case, I then thank the person that I'm reading off and then go on to the monologue, introduction, and any other materials that it requires. I also like to do a slate, which is where you say your name, age, where you live, and if you're represented by an agent or manager. Don't worry if you're not represented, you can just say that you're unrepresented. Once everything is recorded, it's now time to edit. I prefer the order of the slate, introduction, script reading, and then finishing on the monologue. But if you have other materials, you may have to weave them in. For the slate, I like to have the information written side by side with me saying it on a black background with white text, like so. Joshua Allengame, 21 years old, unrepresented, residing in Perth, Western Australia. Now all you need to do is add the best take of each material required for your self-tape audition. I like to fade these pieces in and out for a bit of extra flair with the recording, as well as leave a 3 to 5 second blank space between each of the pieces to let the viewer internalize what they have just watched. Once it is edited, I like to go back and watch it through as many times as I need, looking for mistakes and improvements that I can do, and I like to get through the entire piece once without making any changes before I'm satisfied with it. Now it's time to export your self-taped audition. For export settings, I recommend 720p at 24 frames per second as a minimum. Please bear in mind that depending on where you're submitting it, you may be limited to a 25 megabyte size requirement, so you may have to play with the bitrate sliders to get the size down to a reasonable amount. When I can though, I like to export at 1080p at 30 frames per second because that's a much higher quality. Once it's exported, check it over once more and then submit it. Unfortunately, I can't help you here because every self-tape audition gets you to submit it in a different way. I've had some that want me to upload it to YouTube or Vimeo, some that want me to attach it to a web form, and even some that want me to email it. Bear in mind though, if you're emailing it, generally you are limited to a 25 megabyte size requirement. So now it's time for you to hand it in and hope they contact you. So that's it. That's how you create the perfect self-tape audition. But before this video ends, I'd like to go through some frequently asked questions with you. The first one is, how much time do you need to complete a self-tape audition? Well, that really depends on the self-tape audition. I've had some that I've completed in 4 hours, and I've had some that have taken 2 days of solid work to complete. It really depends on what they require and how difficult the script is. As a general rule though, I wouldn't allow any less than 6 hours per self-tape audition. Also bear in mind, you can split this time over multiple days. The next question is, should I use props in my self-tape audition? Now this is an interesting one because everyone has a differing opinion. For the projects that I have personally casted, I didn't mind when candidates used props for self-tape auditions, but I do know of some people that don't like it when you use props. My recommendation is that only use a prop when it adds to your self-tape audition and isn't distracting in any way. And really, you should probably keep the amount of props to a minimum. Generally, I'd say 1, maybe 2 if they're complementary, like a notepad and pen. The next question is, can I use previous monologues for my current self-tape audition? And yeah, of course you can. Just make sure that you look roughly the same. I mean, check that your clothing and background is still pretty neutral. And make sure that stuff like your hair and makeup is the same. It's not a good look to have long hair in your script reading and then short spiked hair in your monologue. So just make sure that everything is roughly the same. Finally, the last question is, should I hand in my self-tape audition as soon as possible or should I wait until the last minute? Now this is another interesting one. I recommend that you hand in your self-tape as soon as it's ready, as long as you're not rushing it out. The reason I suggest this is because if you're one of the first auditions in, the casting director is going to compare every new audition to yours as long as it's good. Another reason I suggest this is that if you're the 30th audition that the casting director has seen that day, you're much less likely to have the attention of this casting director just because they're tired. However, I do have to admit that on the last project that I casted, there was a self-tape audition that was sent in about 5 minutes before the deadline. And this was the person that we actually cast for the lead villain. So there's really no predicting this, and that's why I just say get it in as soon as it's ready. So that's a wrap on today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. Leave a comment if you have anything to say about this video. Share this video if you think someone else would enjoy it. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.